SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any party. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any concept.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Well, that was a long, hard winter, wasn't it? It seems to be over, doesn't it? High today of 82. Sunny sky expected. No, it's on the way. You just got to give it a minute. 82 for a high today, 79. Tomorrow, Friday, a high of 78, but an 80% chance of showers and thunder showers. Keep at least some chance of rain, especially in the afternoon hours through the weekend. And the first part of next week, with the temperature slowly dropping. By Tuesday, a high of 72, still a chance of showers. All of those showers in advance of the cold front, well, technically cold fronts, there's going to be two of them within a week's span, but that next cold front is going to drop it back to basically what we had last week when we were down in the 30s. Yeah. We're headed for that, and it's pretty well going to set in, it looks like, for an extended stay, the cold weather. It better. We're 1 week and 1 day away from Thanksgiving Day. I'm getting tired of the flip-flops. I don't know about you. It's about time to have real shoes on. Maybe we'll get there. I'm going with no, but I remain ever hopeful. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Doesn't matter. It's nice outside. The fog is still a problem. We may have another difficulty with fog tomorrow morning as well. And then we'll kind of ease out of the early morning fog by the middle of next week. It'll get less and less, and then it'll go away. Keep waiting for the good news, right? Weather-wise. I've seen some long-range projections, by the way, some long-range forecast models that show parts of Mississippi having a chance of snow within the next week to 2 weeks. That's the north part of Mississippi. Don't start warming up your snowball throwing arm. Don't start coming up with new designs for your snowman, because that's still a very much long shot. Not really going to happen here. Now that I've said that, we'll have 5 feet and everything will be closed for 6 months. That's the way it works. I've jinxed us now, so you might want to prepare. It's not going to happen, though. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. All right, last night, well, I say last night, yesterday afternoon, they had the special call meeting for the McComb City Board. As I told you, at the special call meeting on Monday, they announced they would have another special call meeting yesterday in order to officially approve the memorandum of understanding, which we're now calling a memorandum of agreement because nothing has just one name. That would be silly. But they had to have a special call meeting before the work session so that they could go ahead and take care of that, because we were still locked in limbo of our prisoners not being locked in anywhere. Well, that came up. It passed unanimously. The city attorney, and I understand the legal speak, but come on, guys. She announced she made some small changes, such as change the word prisoner to detainee. Well, that makes the guy that stole somebody's lawnmower and got arrested for trying to sell it so he could buy some crack have a little more dignity. But not her fault. That's the way it works. Especially in the legal world. You get every syllable exactly right. So aside from that, just minor changes like that. And that was it, as it was presented by Brandon Frazier at Monday's special call meeting. The new deal put forth by the Pike County Board of Supervisors, which is basically the old deal they had agreed to. Now we have re-agreed. But here's the problem when you have this kind of behavior, because they did vote unanimously to accept it last night. The problem is they have already previously voted to accept an agreement and then turned around and went back on it, which is what led us to this point. Didn't stop paying the bill, but they said, no, wait a minute, no, we can't do that. I know we said this, but we're only going to do this instead. So ultimately, how much weight does yesterday's vote carry on this subject? How many votes is this we've held on this subject, and we still keep coming back and redoing it over and over because we don't understand the concept of a signed contract, I guess. Yeah, I know we voted, we agreed to this, but now we're not going to do it. And then we come back and now we've held another vote. So yeah, I'm sure this one will be the forever vote and it will last for the long haul, right? That's what everyone is being asked to believe. However, did you ever show up for a housing of prisoners fight and an insurance quote broke out? That's what happened yesterday at the special call meeting, because that's the only way apparently right now we can conduct the business of the taxpayers of McComb, is at special call meetings. Because they also put on the agenda that it was time to renew the health care, the insurance for city employees. The reason why that was included in the special call meeting is if they wait until next Tuesday, that would be too late. I've got a question that I have asked before when it comes to the yearly budget. I'm now going to lump insurance into that. Can we not work a little further ahead than right up against the deadline and we've got to do something right now? We have no choice. It just doesn't seem like good planning. It doesn't have that look about it. We do everything at the last possible second, because we've got it all under control. Well, it was an interesting discussion last night regarding the health insurance for the city of McComb. You've got a lot of changes going on in insurance right now, a lot of increases, but all price increases, all premium increases are not created equal. When we come back, we'll get into the audio from last night's meeting, and you'll see why. We're having a pretty significant price increase on insurance for our City of Macomb employees. You could probably figure out why if you know anything about the business, but you're going to get to hear it from the meeting yesterday. When we come back on Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County 93.5 on a still kind of cloudy but getting sunnier by the second Wednesday morning. Good morning to you.
Ladies, your health is your priority, and the Women's Health Center in McComb is here to support you. We're thrilled to announce the return of Dr. Ann Vu. Dr. Vu joins our dedicated team, including Dr. Kevin Richardson, nurse practitioner Shayla Stanberry, and midwife Tara Givens. From routine checkups to specialized care, we offer comprehensive services tailored to your needs. Schedule your appointment today. Visit us at 1318 Harrison Avenue or call 601-684-2300. The Women's Health Center, where your well-being comes first.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have a break. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, churn world serves its own needs, dummy serve your own needs, beat it up and knock, speed, grunt, no strength, the ladder starts to clatter with fear, fight down, high wire in a fire, representing 7 games in the government for hire in a combat site, left and west are coming in a hurry with the furies beating down your neck. Team my team reporters babble Trump, tether crop, look at that. Serve yourself, world serves its own needs. Listen to your heartbeat, dummy with the rapture and the reverend and the right. You patriotic, slam, fight, bright, light, feeling, pretty sight. It's the end of
I hate to bring it to an end because I know you were singing along to every word. If so, you need a break, and we're going to take one now. Welcome back, Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County 93.5. All right, last night we dealt with insurance for the city employees of the city of McComb City. And, well, not the surprise of the year, but, well, the quotes didn't come back very favorable.
It is time to look at the renewal again this year. And we'll have to start this one out a little bit different. On the very first page, you'll see on the renewal what we were up against this year. You're running a 148% loss ratio.
148% loss ratio. They'll get into some of the details on this here in just a second, but let me explain, set the stage for you. Got to set the table before you have your dinner. Turkey's going to get cold. 148% loss ratio means for every dollar the insurance company collected in premiums, they paid out $1.48 in claims. Now, I don't know how much you know about business, but if you're losing 48 cents for every single dollar's worth of transaction, yeah, that's not going to work out very well. Every dollar they got, they had to spend $1.48. We hear a lot about the increase in premiums and saving health care and all of that, and it is definitely a serious problem that needs to be addressed. But there is a very clear reason why the city of McComb was hit with a premium increase because, again, for every dollar you're getting, you're spending $1.48. It's really hard to make payroll with that kind of cash flow.
United Healthcare took in about $845. This is only in the last 9 months. Took in $845, paid out $1.26 million.
Took in $845,000 and paid out $1.426 or 25, I think it was, million dollars in claims for employees of the city of McComb. Premiums going up? Oh, you bet. They have to. That is far too out of balance. Now, they're kind of used to having some loss ratio. But that's kind of an extensive loss ratio there. A lot of people using the city employee insurance with a lot of health problems, apparently. Just going by those numbers. So, yeah, not a surprise that we're getting a premium increase.
Meaning your claims are out there. You can't help that. We can't help that. They're numbers.
And numbers don't lie unless they're in the city books of McComb. In which case, you're still 4 years behind on audits. But that's a different rant for a different show. Right now, we're talking about insurance. Now, your first thought, United Healthcare is the company that has been providing the insurance for city employees in McComb. There's other insurance companies. If they're going up that much, why don't we shop around?
The next page you'll see where I quoted it with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they declined. I quoted it with Cigna, they declined. Quoted it with Aetna, they declined. Those are your 4 major carriers. Nobody would even take a look at it. So,
do you blame them? 148% loss ratio. Nobody is standing in line waiting for their chance to lose money. So this is the only company that would even offer insurance. Think about that for a second. We've been here before. Remember, it wasn't that long ago we were searching around for a official depositor of record for the city business, and nobody applied the first time. Nobody said, yeah, I'll do it. So then we finally came back and we got the same person to do it again. This is not the same thing, but it's an offshoot of when you conduct business poorly, you wind up getting poor business offers. In this particular case, you've only got one company willing to provide the service, and they just are finishing up a year where they provided the service and lost 48 cents for every dollar they spent. No profit, zero profit. Didn't even break even, at least break even. No, nowhere even close to that. So you're not going to get good terms. And there's not a lot you could do about it either.
We're in a position now that all we can do is look at what we got with United Healthcare and try to look at the renewal option as is, and we have one option for you to look at. So that's what we were dealt with this year. This page, which is the spreadsheet page, has the yellow on it. At the top, you will see your current plan and your premiums. The second one, option 1, that is the renewal as is on the health plan. It's going to go down a little bit once, because Med Plus, your gap plan, gave you a 0% rate increase. United Healthcare came in with a 41%. We begged, we did everything we could to try to get it down. They said, no way. With the claims, the loss ratio as it is, we're on that. We're stuck on that number.
And we didn't have, usually if we can get a competitive quote even, we can go back to them and get a little relief. But
they said
couldn't get even get a competitive quote.
You have to have leverage somewhere. We had no leverage. So what we did is...
And before we go there, because we're going to get into the weeds here for just a moment, once again, want to reiterate, when you reach the point where only one business is willing to do business with you, and they just finished up losing money doing business with you, you're not going to get a good deal. You're going to get a deal, which is what we're down to now. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this. I mean, the increasing cost of healthcare is one of those. There's a lot of different things that are baked into that entire problem. Having said that, it is a problem, and this is a great illustration of that. Oh, there's something, one thing that makes a difference, and also is a great example of what's happening on planet Earth right now, coming up in just a little bit. Right now, let's get back into the details and listen to this. Working hard for the city. I got to give them credit. They played with all the options they had available in the basically two plans they were given a choice of. You can take this one or the other expensive one. That's your two choices. Pick one. We don't care. Just let us know. That was the offer. There are no other offers. So you got to pick one of those too. Here are some details on what they went through to put this together.
We'll get into another page in a minute. The blended Med Plus with United Healthcare, you're looking at a 35.28% rate increase. Now, every other month I have them send me claims.
35% increase. Yay. But again, don't let anybody try to frame this for you as, well, yeah, it's because they didn't pass the subsidies in Washington. Everybody's insurance is going. No, I'm sorry. If you pay them $100 a month and they have to spend $148 a month on you, that's got nothing to do with premium subsidies. Will those help? Possibly, but there's a much bigger imbalance going on here.
So what's your loss ratio looking at? 5 months ago, you were running probably 120%, and that's when you called and we said, what do we need to budget back in October? And I said, I would at least put 20 in, because you look like that's what it's like. But y'all's claims have just soared since then. If you can look at the last few months, if you want to look back on that other page, you can see. Monthly, they're going up. So what we did, there's a way we can put you on what's called an HDHP, high deductible health plan, and it's considered an HSA.
High deductible. Gotta love it when that term shows up. So basically, you're going to wind up paying more to get worse coverage. What a wonderful world we live in, right?
Take all the co-pays out of United Healthcare. So you just have we went with a higher deductible with United Healthcare to we kept it at 5.
It's just changing. When you're taking the co-pays out of from United Healthcare and moving them over to the GAP plan,
right?
You can't. It does change it to an HSA on the United Healthcare side, but you can't use the HSA. HSA can't have co-pays.
I warned you we were going into the weeds.
So
HDHP.
Right. When you do that, every claim that goes through goes to deductible and co-insurance with United Healthcare. Your co-pays, instead of just like you have now, you have a card that has two companies on it. Instead of those co-pays showing up over on the left side under United Healthcare, they're going to show up on the right side under GovCare or Med Plus. And they run through both companies. United Healthcare still has to approve the charges just like they do now, but instead of your copay being operated or processed by United Healthcare, it's processed by GovCare through that plus benefit. And by doing that, it saves you about 6.2%. Same copays, same prescription card, works. We've got it in another large group, and we've had one issue, I think, this year, and it was because a claim was filed on. So it works well. That's just an option.
Okay, so we're going to do some trickery with the co-insurance, basically, to try to get it a little bit more manageable cost-wise. High deductible plan, that means, well, it's right there in the name, says it right on the tin, it's got a high deductible. It's kind of like a health savings plan, but you don't really use it like a health savings plan, but you got to present both cards. You got to present your insurance and your copay insurance when you go to the doctor or you get anything done. Not that onerous of a deal. That's kind of standard. That's the way it works for a lot of people. So it's not that far out there. But they got a 6% reduction in the 35% increase. Still going to be an impressive increase.
But now, one thing, the plan changes some. When you do that, right now y'all have a $500 deductible and then 100% coverage for the next $4,500 worth of charges. Then at that point, your plan picks up and pays 70%. The employee's responsible for 30%, so they reach a maximum out of pocket of $4,200. If you change to this plan, it saves you 6%, but it also lowers that employee's out of pocket. They have a $500 deductible, and then the plan pays 100%. You don't go back into the 70% coverage.
Except for your copays.
Yeah, your copays, just like it is now. Your copays don't apply to deductible and co-insurance now. So it saves you 6%. It lowers your employees' out of pocket, because for deductible and co-insurance at $500 they're through. But they've still got copays to pay. The doctor's office and prescription copays.
Okay. So actually not that terrible. Not that bad. Deductible actually staying the same, the way he described it. They're doing some heavy work to make this affordable and still good for the employees. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm going to skip ahead in the conversation just a little bit. We'll come back because there's some other things I want to catch, but I want to go ahead and get to this right now. They lay all this out. They explain how much it's going to cost, the employee part of the insurance, a little bit later on. Selectman Cotting has an incredibly pertinent couple of questions about that. Just listen to this, and we're going to talk about it for a second.
All right, so I think that's what I want. I want the board and the public to understand is right now, if you had if one of our employees does a employee plus family, they're looking at a monthly cost of what?
Depending on which one, 800.
Yeah, 886, right?
Yeah, stay with what you currently got.
Yes.
Correct.
And our employees on the low end of our frontline employees, at 1050, have approximately $1,100 in take-home pay.
Right.
A month. They get paid bi-weekly, but a month.
Let's talk about this for a second. We've talked about it when they put job notices out and openings from the city, and we've made fun of them, you and I. We've talked about it. $10.50 an hour. There seems to be this prevailing attitude that, well, that's a good job. I don't know what your problem is. No, it's not a good job. You can't pay for squat. $1,100 a month. I want you to imagine they're on a biweekly pay system with the city of McComb. And I want you to imagine you go and you work 40 hours a week. You do what you've been told you should be doing. You shouldn't be going on relief. You got to get out there and hustle. You got to get out there and do a job. And before you say, well, you just need to get a better job, because I hear that all the time. Okay, so you don't want anybody filling the potholes ever? You don't want any of those jobs to be filled? Then you would complain about that. So you got to have employees to do this stuff. And when you're offering to pay them $550 every 2 weeks, I want you to live on that. Now, to be fair, there is one difference that makes this easier, and it is absolutely humiliating and embarrassing. Just listen.
And just their health insurance for them and one child, I think it's one or more, it's all in the same package for our insurance. Yeah. Okay? It would be 80% of their check.
That's hard.
Okay, so
that person is going to be on medication. If they're making 10 an hour, that child's going to be on Medicaid.
Oh, so we pay so low that you still qualify for Medicaid. Thank God.
So you've got people who are digging as hard as they can. They are working. They're working 40 hours a week. Got them a good job, air quotes, with a city, doing the hard work. And you're going to pay them so little that they still qualify for Medicaid. That is humiliating. That is embarrassing. And that's ridiculous. Well, we don't have any more money to pay them. Sell your new car, Mayor. That'll pay for somebody to get a little more, won't it? We seem to be experts at finding reasons why we can't spend money where we don't want to. But when it's something we're behind, oh, we'll find the money. How many times have we heard that? How many times have we been told, we'll find the money. We got to find the money somewhere. Okay, find the money to pay people a living wage. Pay people enough to where they no longer qualify for Medicaid. I don't think that's an unreasonable standard to try to shoot for here. Well, we're a small town. Then quit trying to act like you're a big one. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you are so small that you can't pay your employees enough to not qualify for Medicaid while they're working a full-time job, you're not nearly as big a stuff as you like to claim you are. That's a problem. It has been a problem. We've talked about it. Every time they put out opening notices, you and I talk about them because I mention them in a very sarcastic, somewhat angry way. Because I'm sorry, $10.50 an hour is not a lot. That's not a lot at all. So what do you expect? As a result, you get people working for you that can't get another job at a higher rate of pay. Either because the jobs aren't available or they're just not qualified. And before anyone, and I had somebody pull this on me a few days ago, well, yeah, they just need to go get qualified in something. You're working 40 hours a week. You're still on Medicaid. You're trying to figure out how to feed your kids. Oh, yeah, and you need to go back to school full time? You make that sound really easy. We need to quit giving advice based on what you should have done. Unless your advice includes free use of a time machine, that gives zero results. And what do we focus on? Results. Not harumphing our way around and explaining how everybody messed up. Okay, let's fix it. How do you fix it? Explaining what should have happened 10, 20, 30 years ago? Yeah, that does no good. You've accomplished nothing. Instead of actually doing something to fix it. And the problem is, to me, yes, we pay our employees in the city of McComb basically nothing. They work a full-time job and they still qualify for Medicaid because they don't make anything. Take-home pay, they're getting about $14,000 a year total. Full stop. That's the whole amount. What bothers me is that we're not talking about it. I've poked fun of it. I've raised it before. And the answer is always a blith. Well, we just can't afford to pay anymore. Moving on. Next item. No, we need to have a conversation. We need to talk about this. We need to discuss what we can do to fix this. Fun fact, little spoiler here. I'm pretty sure the solution, no matter how much we desperately want it to be, does not involve walking around with your daiquiri you can't afford. That's part of the problem. Don't pay them enough to stay off Medicaid, but have you been down and visited the Leisure and Recreation District? Take some cash. We have to discuss this. We have to try to figure something out. At the very least, at least have the conversation. Not just hand wave it away. Well, there's no money in the budget. There was no money in the budget for a new car for the mayor, but that was a necessity. We need to take that attitude of we'll find the money somewhere and apply it to things that might improve the city of McComb for everybody. Just a thought. When we come back, there is one other option on insurance, and it's a bad one. We'll hear about that when we come back. Keep it here.
Dr. Patrick Daigle is now seeing patients at Mississippi Women's OBGYN. While his location has changed from the Women's Health Center, Dr. Daigle's commitment to exceptional care remains stronger than ever. You'll find the same trusted care now at a new location within the Southwest Health Network. Dr. Daigle and Dr. James Nobles providing comprehensive women's health services at Mississippi Women's OBGYN. Same trusted care, new location, 205 Marion Avenue in Macomb, or call 601-250-4275.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Welcome back, SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Sorry, collecting myself. I mean, I've given up trying to lower the blood pressure. That's not going to happen. We're just going to keep cruising along. Well, when we mentioned earlier that there was really only one option for health insurance for city employees, and that is United Healthcare, that wasn't entirely true. There is one other option. And it's a horrible option because you could always do what McComb tried once before, and already immediately some people going, well, we could just do this. Yeah, no, and the mayor fully understands that, actually, for very obvious reasons. Just listen to the other option.
Okay, there may be someone sitting here thinking about the self-insured programs out there. Would you advise the city?
No, you're not big enough. You need to be at least 500 employees.
Okay.
We've had the city at one time was self-insured, and you were here when
I know.
You had to get out.
I just want.
And you had to pay money to get out of it. We've had counties that have had self-insured. One year they had $1 million plus in their slush fund to pay claims. Next year they had to dig into the general fund to pay claims. I would not advise it.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense to me. Makes a lot of sense to me, especially if we're running at a ratio to where for every dollar we pay the insurance company, they're spending $1.48. I'm not sure we would want to wade off into those particular waters.
And the only time self-insured works is if you're healthy when you do it, because you still got to buy reinsurance, and reinsurance is going to price it on the same thing fully insured does. Get health insurance out there. So if you're healthy and you want to go self-funded, sometimes that'll work, but you can't wait till you get sick and then say.
And that's what happened on one of the large, it was about a 200 million group that it just went south. It's not advisable.
Okay. Selectman Cotton.
I don't know what page this is. On the page that is the cost per employee to the city.
Correct. That's the most important.
The bottom one is the cost to the employee.
That is if they have dependent coverage for health insurance only.
And this is on a bi-weekly payment.
That's the monthly note.
That's a monthly note.
A monthly number. Right.
Okay, so if they were to get this insurance for their family,
right.
This is how much it would cost. It would cost $886 for option one.
Right.
Per month for the employee to insure the rest of their family.
Right.
You can keep in mind, and we did get a little bit out of order because I wanted to get to that point. This is where Selectman Cotting was figuring all of that out that led to the revelation that city employees, a lot of them, not getting paid enough to no longer qualify for Medicaid. As Selectman Cotting said, well, thank God. But keep in mind, in that, we figured out, he's about to go over it again, those $10.50-something openings that they keep advertising and hiring people for, they're getting about $1,100 a month. If you're paying way over $800 a month for your insurance, I want you to take that $300 a month and pay your electric bill, put gas in your car, buy school supplies for the kids, eat, silly stuff. Frivolous expenses. So, yeah, that's a big part of the problem.
And that's why it's important to really get on this now. Open enrollment for health plans is the month of December, for a 1/1 effective date. Anybody who has one dependent that might want to look in the market to see what's out there to make a decision, gives them plenty of time to do that.
So you're saying you would recommend a person that makes 1031, I think that's minimum wage in the city, ish, you would recommend them looking on the market? Is that what I understood you just said?
If they have dependent coverage.
If you got one dependent, sometimes it's a little less expensive to get an individual plan. If you got a child that's 10, 12 years old and that's it, sometimes that'll come out a little better for you. Individual plans now, and if you look, even, and this don't soften the blow, but $1,700 for family coverage. Family rates now for a family of 4, I never see them hardly under $2,000. So that's, the rates still aren't terrible when you look at the family coverage.
And what's out tomorrow?
An individual plan with Blue Cross or Ambetter or Molina or United Healthcare, unless a person's able to get a tax credit to help with some of that, and a lot of those have been cut out this year. A 40-year-old male is going to be in the neighborhood of $700 to $800. It's going to be the least expensive, and it's not near as good a plan as
Most of the time they're like $6,000 higher than.
Again, we have a problem. You heard him mention right at the end about the tax credits going away, and as a result, on the open market, when they refer to going to look at the market, they're talking about the insurance marketplaces that were set up as part of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Talking about going out there, seeing what's available. And that's going to wind up being even more expensive than this. So the least expensive option is too expensive. Yeah, that's the way the world works now. There are some definite problems that have to be addressed. And I'm sorry, no matter how much you may disagree, the Affordable Care Act is not it. Never was it. Never has been it. For whatever given value of it we're going with here. Because it's not sustainable. It was never sustainable. And now we are reaching that point. We got down, let's see if we've got enough time to get through this, to the true cost to the city and the vote on the options.
So we're talking about 1.6 million or 1.3 million? Compared to what we currently pay, which is 1.1 million.
Correct.
Okay, so I just felt like that number was going to be a big one, and 6% doesn't sound like much. But when you're talking about millions, 6% is a little bit more than.
Yeah, so 1.59. Yeah.
All that treatment is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got 160 employees right now.
I know. I think it's very easy to swallow a percent. Maybe not so easy to swallow the dollar figure.
Correct.
Okay. So either option 2 is about $200,000 increase. Option 1 is about $450,000 increase.
Correct.
Which about half of it was budgeted.
Okay, with that being said, any other discussion on the insurance?
Do we have to pick one or the other tonight?
Yes. And the reason for that is that if we don't pick one tonight, the next regular board meeting will be on the 24th, 25th, something like that. And it will not give us adequate time to get them enrolled. And if we wait until December to do that, some of our employees are going to have to pay for premium 2 times in December. And that may leave an employee without a paycheck. And that's why it's important for us.
You have to, the earlier the better.
Okay. Next board meeting is, as he said there, the 24th or 25th. It'll be the 25th. They were talking about that on the 18th. So we played it so close to the vest, so down to the wire, that we didn't have a week. Right at the last second, we got to rush in and do something, slap something together real quick right now. That mindset is part of the problem. If you ask me, we keep seeing that play out over and over and over. Just did it with the budget. Last day possible. We got to pass it today. We don't have a choice. We got to pass it. We got to. How about we work just a little bit ahead and not wait until the night before the paper's due and stay up till 3 a.m. cramming it all into place? You usually wind up with a better grade if you kind of work a little bit in advance. Just a thought, but we seem incapable of that. Final vote, by the way, was unanimous for Plan 2 that they talked about earlier. So the employees will still have insurance with the city of McComb. It's still going to be unaffordable, and apparently they're still going to be using it like hotcakes.
If you cry,
they have been. 148% loss ratio. Ouch. Final break. Close it down for this Wednesday right after this on SuperTalk Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5.
Tired of living with an overactive bladder? Constant trips to the restroom and sudden leaks don't have to disrupt your life. Axonics Therapy at Southwest Urology Clinic offers a long-term solution helping you regain control and confidence. This advanced FDA-approved treatment is safe, effective, and designed to fit your lifestyle, and best of all, it's right here close to home. Take the first step toward lasting relief. Call Southwest Urology Clinic at 601-250-4344 today to learn more about Axonics Therapy, because confidence starts with control.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Closing time.
Yep.
Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
That'll do it.
Closing time. Turn all of the lights.
Things are going great, aren't they?
Every girl.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Despite all of that, you're having a wonderful day, and it's going to get better. Trust your old Uncle Dave. You just sit back, you enjoy it, and we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06, my friend. I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.